Welcome back to Thrive America here with good friend and improv student Allan Urech, and this is a very important segments that we're going through here with Allan, because Allan has a great perspective on businesses. He reviews them on a daily basis, and what he does is, as an angel investment, as part of being an angel investment community, he gets to observe what makes a good business, and maybe what areas of business will need to improve upon before he and his group move forward in working with you. So we're just kind of winding down the point before, Allan, and I wanted to talk to you about this question, because you talk about in the previous segment making sure you don't do too many things and you really focus on what you're good at. And what about the economy that we're in? Because a lot of people are having to rethink their business model and maybe offer different services or different products to address this economy that we're in. But you're suggesting that we don't get too distracted and we go down and really tailor towards it and focus on one niche. But what happens if we get so focused on that niche that that we just there's no customers down that niche, or there's no clients down that niche? So how do we figure that out?
Well, and also I think the opportunity dries up,
Okay.
because we're in constant change,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. In that particular case, what I suggest is that you kind of back up and you redefine what your business strategy is and what your mission is, and you kind of pull back a little bit into and start going down perhaps a different avenue, and knowing that maybe isn't a business that adds value to the customer anymore. To me, there's different things like, for example, the Yellow Book. To me, that's an avenue that has had its life cycle, and I think that when you've got to start looking at how we're going to start using some other alternative methods than the physical Yellow Book, to do that, and maybe that's digital or whatever. So I think that you need to start looking and reinventing. There's a book out there called Blue Ocean Strategies, and I've got an article, and my students read that. But Blue Ocean Strategies talks about how you're reinventing different things from two old industries. Look at Cirque du Soleil, for example. That's a combination of the theater and the circus, and they put them together, and out came Cirque du Soleil, which is making 20% annual profit a year. I mean, just a tremendous success. But two old industries putting it together in a new one, and that's a blue ocean. To me, a red ocean would be just the circus, which is really dying, and then the theater, which wasn't dying, but it wasn't really gaining in strength. And you put those two together, and all of a sudden you have Cirque du Soleil. And that Cirque du Soleil really reinvented, and it's just wonderful. I mean, they've got 5 of them in Las Vegas. My wife and I went to one of them, and they've got like 2 going on here in Atlanta, at any one time. Things like that. But it's a reinventing that particular thing, and so that's what I'm saying, is pull back and really see if maybe you can make something out of an old industry, but make it new. So make it, and look at what's happening now in the future. Social networking tools, in the digital world are really doing a lot of good things to allow you to do some of these things. But look at that, and the long tail, and also Blue Ocean Strategies is what I'd recommend for a read. And then think about different things. My students at Georgia State have to go in, and they have to do 4 opportunity registers. And what that is looking at things and seeing how they can add value to the customers by doing something new that maybe just wasn't available maybe 2 years ago, and things like that. I look at just as some things in '85. There was something that was a relational database that Oracle came on the market. And one of the things that happened was that I knew we had all this information in the company we were growing, but we didn't know, we needed to know how to massage it. And we didn't have the tools to massage it. So what they did was say, aha, we're getting all this knowledge out there, but we don't know how to make it so it's usable knowledge. And so that's what happened was the relational databases came out. Great stuff.
Your next point here is interesting to me. Focus on sales and marketing, not on the products or service. What do you mean by this?
Well, I think there's 4 or 5 stages of a company's growth. The first stage is idea. The second is the product. The third is when you've got a few paying customers, and maybe about 250,000. The fourth is where you're beginning to scale up to maybe 50 million. And the fifth is building enterprise value. In the first 2 stages, idea and product, you are an R&D organization, research and development. You're developing your products, taking your idea and developing it into something that is saleable. In the last 3 stages, where you've got some revenue and you're scaling up and you're building enterprise value, that's a sales and marketing organization. When you're crossing the chasm from the product into the 3rd stage, what I'm saying is change your mindset. In the first 2, R&D. Second, in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, your sales and marketing. Get people in there that really understands the market and the sales area. In today's world, using social networking tools like Digit and Delicious and some of the Twitters and things like that to get your name out, it's virtually at no cost. And when you can do that and just tag things and get your name out there. A great book is called Groundswell by Charlene Lee, L.I. And what she does is she talks about using all these tools to get the groundswell, because when they come to your website, what they're going to do is that's a warm lead as opposed to a cold lead. If you're going out there and calling people and things like that, that's kind of a cold lead. But if they come back to your website, maybe not today, but maybe in 6 months from now, because they knew that this is a good idea, but I don't need it right now. But 6 months from now, when I come back, that's a warm lead, and it takes a lot less money to close that deal than it would if you're cold calling them. And they have to understand who you are.
So you're talking about some really exciting stuff, because you're talking about a lot of solutions that aren't necessarily traditional advertising in the yellow pages or on TV or so on and so forth. You're talking about the social networking aspect. Absolutely. That if you're thinking about starting a business and getting your name out there, and getting on some of these social bookmarking and social networking sites is a fun place to go. But talk to me about the we just had another guest kind of talk about how he focused he did a research on where his business was coming from, and he realized that a lot of his business is coming from happy clients and the referrals, and this was surprising to him, because he was doing some marketing, and he thought that was where the leads were coming from, but it wasn't. It was the referrals. So but his company is more of a service based company designed. Do you I mean, I'm sure there's a combination of both that you would recommend, but
I would recommend both, but I think referrals certainly are the way to go. If you make someone happy, creating raving fans, and customers expect 100% from you. If you give 120% and give them something extra, one of the things I do is if I'm sending out an email and it's got one article on it, like Blue Ocean Strategy or something like that, what I'll do is I'll send 2 or 3 in there and say, by the way, if you're interested in this, you might be interested in this. Amazon does a great job in really saying, hey, if you're interested in this book, perhaps you're interested in these other ones too, and kind of upselling that, and things like that. And I think that's terrific, and that's some of the social networking tools. But certainly getting referrals, that's a warm client. I mean, all of us, where do we go when someone needs? We'll go to someone that we trust, and we trust their opinion. And if they say, hey, this is a great company to do business with, certainly I'll go there.
All right, so we are going to be right back here with Allan as we get into the meat and potatoes of 10 killer secrets in developing a powerful business.